I'll do my usual thing and roll a die, which is completely unfair because it's always on the same person. I got Mason, who I'm pretty sure actually did the recap during the after the session 0 thing.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's been too long. Yeah. So what did we do last time? It's been a little bit. We investigated a spooky ship filled with bullet holes, bullets, and dead bodies. There was a room of death that we didn't really investigate too much because everyone started dying. And then we went to the throne room, or the you know the room I'm talking about. It wasn't the throne room, but it was like the helm or whatever, the bridge, where we met someone, presumably undead someone, sitting on the captain's chair, who was sending waves of undead horrors at us. And we couldn't kill him because he had a force field. So then we ran away into the trash vent. We meandered our way through the trash vent and the hallways, and we found the Gellerfield room, or the maintenance hall, where once we found it, the tech priests proceeded to prostrate themselves on the floor in front of it until we started hearing spooky growls from dark corners of the room.
Yeah,
that's basically what I remember.
One of you rolled either lore or Tactica Imperialis or whatever. So one of you did a knowledge check skill and determined that, I think it was actually Darius, that the Psy-shield, because it's something that's kind of drawn from the warp, you could interrupt it with the Gellerfield. So you're in real space. You're not in the Empyrean in the warp. But even in real space, if you could activate it, it might be able to disrupt or stop his Psy-shield. And then hopefully you can put a stop to him, because you also tried contacting your gun cutter, and he's also blocking the signal. So you can't get out, so you're trapped. So the hope is that if you can put this rogue Psyker down, that it would hopefully put an end to these things coming to life in the ship and disrupting your signal, so that you can take over the Emperor's bounty, and you can strip it of all of its precious ancient archaeotech, and take it and make profit with it. And yes, that is where you currently are. You are currently before this great ancient device, and you hear inhuman noises in the dark. Now, it will take several rounds for you to activate the device. I will have E410 will accompany you, as well as his servo skull. They're at your use as crew members. And the two tech priests are beginning to do their ministrations to the machine spirit. It will take you, you think, at least in metagame terms, you think, Caleb, 5713, with the help of E410, 3 successful rounds of archaeotech checks to awaken the machine spirit and coax it. It seems as if something is forcing the machine spirit to be reluctant and reticent. Something has told it to remain silent, and you're currently negotiating with it with your various, your various rituals. And I think everybody can roll for initiative.
Right into spooky stuff.
Right. I remember how to play this game, but for someone who doesn't, where would initiative be?
Combat tab near the bottom right.
Thanks.
And that's
Good.
the agility mod?
Yeah, or you could roll a d10 and add agility. The first number of agility. For your agility bonus, yeah.
Gosh. Dang it. There we go.
Alright.
Lots of initiative.
Where? Initiative. Does that work?
Looks
Alright.
like-
It's being funny again for me, so it's what? 1d10 plus your agility?
Agility bonus, yeah.
Alright. That's a 14 for me.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. So Hans got a 14, and then it goes Tanner 5713, and then I'm just going to put E410 with you. So you have command of E410, the group does, and both servo skulls, you know. And then lastly, I rolled a 3, and they don't have an agility bonus, so thankfully the warp puppets go last.
Warp puppets.
All right, let's see. Starting with Hans, what do you do? Mason, can you hear us?
Sorry. Yeah, so I forgot I had put the mic up. I'm gonna run up there and blast away at that warp puppet up there.
What type of weapon do you have?
I have a hell gun
A hell gun. All right.
with a range of 110 meters. So we're gonna half aim. That only takes half of aim. How in range is that? 32 meters.
I'm gonna take the dodge action,
Alright.
which he failed to do. So
Spectacularly, no less.
I hit in the head.
nice. Then you roll for damage.
Damage. One hit. 14 damage.
Is that a were you doing single or you did full? Or no, single.
I did a single shot with half aim.
Single shot. All right. So you do 14 damage. You pop him in the head. I'm going to give him, so that's 7 critical damage to the head. Let's see what happens with energy. It says, in a gruesome display, the flesh is burned from the target's head, exposing the charred bone and muscle underneath. It doesn't matter that he's utterly permanently blinded and you see his skull and flesh, because you end this puppet anyways. And he falls to the ground for now. Anything else?
Is all I can do. I mean, that's all I can do.
All right. The next is Darius.
Darius gives a side quip to Hans. Wonderful shot. One hit, one kill. Darius, I'm gonna have him kind of. If I survey the area around us, it's kind of like gangways.
Yeah.
Kind of to move across to where we are.
Yeah, like in a vast, open, dark space all around you. Long gangways with these big, cylindrical, towering machines all kind of spaced out in the dark.
Are these warp puppets? Are they? They're not floating, are they? They're using their feet to get around. Okay. In that case, if there's like a couple nearby gangways that I guess my goal is I want Darius to take his power sword and I want him to cut right through the nearest few gangways, reduce the amount of routes these guys can come from.
Right on. Yeah. I'll just say that you just need to pass the check related to your power sword once, and if you do that, then it works.
Awesome. Would you like that to be an attack?
Yeah. Just one, if you succeed on an attack to hit, then you can do that.
Okay. Let's see. Just straight up like that. Oof.
No. You do have your tokens. However many you want to use.
Ooh, good point. I am definitely going to use one of them here to get a reroll on that. Oof.
Oh no.
That's as many as I'll spend.
Alright. I will say also that you had to have moved up to do that. Like you have to be up where you were going to cut through the floor and drop the connecting portion of the gangway. Alright, that makes it... I think you could still move back, though, if you wanted to, on the same turn.
Yeah,
Tanner.
I'll move over.
Gonna take cover up here. Going to... take aim at the one within 50 meters, since my gun's got a nice handsome range. And I'm going to half aim and fire.
Alright.
Best crafted hell gun. Here we go. Only a single shot, right?
It's up to you. You can do... you can... But it has to be enough on the same turn, right? So if it takes a half to aim, then I don't think you can. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're aiming, you're probably only going to get one shot off, from what I remember.
That's fine.
Nice.
Well, 4.1 degrees success anyway to his right arm.
All right.
13.
13 damage. Okay, so you bring him down to 7 damage, or actually -7. So you have a hell gun, and it's in the right arm. So let's see here. Energy, arm 7. With an awful snapping sound, the heat of the attack from your hell gun boils the marrow itself within the arm, causing it to shatter and snap backwards in a sickly cracking sound of the bones snapping back. The target's own arm is now broken and dangling from the puppet. It, of course, also falls to the ground, motionless. 5713. And all your servo skulls and E410.
All right, it's time to start pressing buttons. All right, I would like to run over to this here machine thing, and
E410 will come and help you. You can add a +10.
Create machine. We, your humble servants, require salvation. And how does one operate such a device?
I think you have an Archaeotech skill.
I think I do. I also have sacred unguents that I could lather this device in if that would assist me.
Yeah, it's... Where is it? It's
It's under my journal.
Journal, yeah, because I think it says... it takes a full action to... No, it's for... No, I think it's cool, though. I don't care. I'm going to say that it'll give you another +10. So you have a... I think whatever your skill is, which is a +20, and another +20 on top of that.
Oh, right. Let's see. Where did Archaeotech reside? Ah, yes. It is the button I cannot operate.
If you press the number at the right, it doesn't do anything?
The 63, I'm clicking it over and over and over again.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I'll do it.
Very
you
strange.
don't type the 60. Wait, which of these is it? Oh, is it the...
If I press 63 on the right on Archaeotech under Forbidden Lore on his sheet, I get a roll command and input.
Yeah, me, it's just like it clearly knows that I'm clicking it. It visually does stuff, but it doesn't.
4.9
Nothing
degrees of
responds.
success. You have succeeded on the first round. You also have 2 servo skulls.
I have 1 servo skull.
Well, you can command 2. You have E410s.
I can, but my servo skull is somewhere else, being
that's right.
strategically important in the future.
Oh, yes.
So what can I do with this servo skull?
Well, it
If
has.
If it cannot assist me in the coaxing of this great being, then if it could shoot the baddies, that'd be great.
I think you're locked away from it. I think that's what you did to it. But
No, the other one we have access to.
Oh, yeah, you can also do things with this one if
My
you
comrades. Yeah, if it could shoot my enemies, that'd be great.
You want the one that's locked away from you to do that as well?
No, it needs to remain secret
Ah, yes, it's hiding.
until the plot requires it.
All right. I think you can select on your servo skull, just like for you. I think you can go to combat, and then it has a las pistol with laser sight that you can click on for an attack.
All right, great. Where? Let's see. Las pistol with laser sight. It can do an attack with, let's call it a half aim. Submit in range. Sure, let's do a single shot. Boop. And that is the result.
All right, right arm, and then roll for damage.
Gotcha.
10 damage. All right, you do 3 critical damage to the right arm. And it says that the attack burns the target's arm. It would have been stunned and taken fatigue, but you also caused this one to collapse. All right, anything else for your turn?
And I will end my turn,
Well,
but not end my divine communion.
this warp puppet, let me check their speed just to make sure that I'm not granting them any kind of advantage here. They have, oh, I didn't put it in there, that's stupid. I think he can make it to Darius. So he gets up to Lord Captain Darius.
I will attempt to parry whatever he does to me.
Go for it, yeah. He's gonna take a jagged piece of stuff that has a warp energy around it, and it will hit you if you do not dodge successfully. You can also parry, by the way. You have all.
Yes, I will attempt to parry. It appears I have a plus 10 at the very least to this, for my power sword is well balanced. Oh,
Nice.
that's a pretty high roll.
Yeah, you guys fire and these things just drop and you shoot them down. This one, stumbles forward and it has this jagged piece of the ship, and there's like this warp energy arcing out of it, and it like tries to crash it down on you, and you just like bring your power sword up and block it. It is good that you do so because you've seen these things arise and you hear more voices in the dark. That's the first round. I'm going to roll for how many appear and how many arise. Unfortunately, all of them.
Excellent. A challenge.
But only one of them appears, a new one. And I'll put him back in the back. He has to make it to you first. That's the good news. Okay. And let's see, that brings us back to Hans.
Question: if I use the semi-auto, can I attempt to hit multiple, or does the semi-auto have to hit one person?
It hits one person, as I understand it, without looking at it. I think there's actually an action where you can, but I don't think its purpose is to hit multiple targets. I think certain weapons do that.
Okay, then I'm going to, we're actually going to attempt an attack without aiming at, the one next to Darius.
You can attack more than one target.
Yeah, that's why I'm not aiming. So, because an attack is only one for half action. So we can do. Hey, I hit.
Nice. In the head. I'll get that ready.
Okay. And that would be for damage. Hit.
Depending on what you do to this thing's head. Okay, so you do 9. So it takes 3 critical to the head of energy. And if you want to say it's the same one, if you want to say it's the same one that you burned its face off last time, I'll say that you pop its head this time. I mean, there's only so many times you can shoot something in the head, right?
Well, I was actually shooting this, or I was shooting the one next to Darius.
Ah, okay. Well, you do kill it. It drops.
And then I'm going to attack again at this guy, the one I shot earlier.
All right.
Attack, no aim, in range, single shot. I miss.
All right. Oh no. All right, Darius.
The one that just fell in front of me, does it still have its head on its body even after the grazing blow that just hit it?
Yeah.
Are the others in range if I were to charge into them?
Yes.
I think Darius will take this opportunity actually to back away on the gangways, and I'd like to kind of, if possible, have like a ready to action to get into combat, like clash with anyone who attempts to reach any of my teammates. Like everybody else is laying down, covering fire, shooting them as they come, and I'll try to protect any from getting to them.
Okay. I think that is a there's some sort of downside to that, but you can do it. It's a delay. You can wait, but you can only take a half action. You can't take your full action to do that. Now, I think you can take a major action, a minor action, and move. So if you wanted to take that thing's head off and move and then get ready for an advance, you could do that all in one turn.
Yeah, I think I'll go with that option instead.
All right,
yeah.
You slice its head off
swing.
easily with your power sword, and it is not coming back to life.
Oh, that's my turn, I think.
All right, let's see here, Tanner.
I'm gonna be fully audioing the one that I shut up last time.
All right.
How many times do I have to teach you this lesson? Zero degree success on the body.
All right, roll for damage.
Okay.
You can also use your thing and re-roll it if you want to see if you get your degrees of success for a full auto attack. Well, it's actually it's semi-auto. Yeah.
Oh, 14 anyway.
Nice. Okay. It is a body hit, so.
Might need to re-roll that actually. I forgot to put in the D.
Oh, yeah, it just gave you a 10.
Yeah, I'd rather not get away with murder, sorry. That's actually even better. Well, not better, but 11, that's still pretty good.
Alright, let's see here. So, that leaves 5 to the body. 5 body. The fury of this attack forces the target to the ground. Even in his deathless state, some vestige of his once mortal self cowers helplessly, holding his hand up to protect his face from the attack and the agony as he's knocked to the ground. You see in his eyes, his glowing eyes, almost a look of pleading, begging you to do it. And you also kill him. 5713. Now, something happens, 5713, as you're trying to commune with the machine spirit. It says something. It says, like in, binaric or whatever, it goes, "Who are you? You're not the captain. Who are you? Intruder. I am faithful and pure. You will not get past me, corrupted code."
I... Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. I'm but a humble servant of the Omnissiah, and of you, great machine. I am not here to bring harm to you, but to help you fulfill your purpose.
Alright, you can roll your check with a plus 10, and then another, if you have any unguents left, you can also use those. I don't know if you have any left.
I think I've blown my proverbial load, but I am going to have to ask you, oh great Omnissiah of the game,
crap.
to press my button for me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. The technology is a fickle beast. Sadly, I do not have enough real-life unguents to manage this.
You succeed in parlaying with the machine spirit. It then, goes across your operating system in your eyes, your mechanical eye, and your brain that you have there, and it's like a servant and priest of Holy Mars. Why is there a time discrepancy in the core cogitator? Something is not right.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
A great corruption has befallen your noble vessel. Your strength is needed to purge it.
It says you have like an all caps, there's a delay for a moment, just like ding, 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 like that little monochrome cursor delay, and then it just in all caps it goes abomination. And then, let's see, that passes. E410 helped you. It is their turn. They're going to make it to Ramirez and to, not the Servo Skull, Captain Darius. Servo Skull's up there floating, and then this one is not going to make it all the way. He's going to make it 60 meters. It's right there. And you can certainly choose to dodge or parry if you want. You're both going to try to do warp-enhanced debris attacks. The first one misses against Ramirez, but the one against Darius will hit unless you can parry it.
Let's see.
Parry. Once again, you're holding them back, and you swat this debris out of the way with your power sword.
Can I take them to effect the, with a powered weapon? My power field apparently has a chance to destroy any non-power weapons. Apparently a 75% chance to destroy.
That's wild, yeah. Go for it.
I think that's a failure then.
Yeah,
it stays
that's freaking
together.
cool though. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna roll to see if any of the one dead one to see if he awakens. I'm gonna make it. It has to be a 2 or greater is what I'm gonna say, and it is, and so he awakens. And he's gonna stay there, and then I'm gonna see how many more show up. they show up toward the end here. All right, that brings us back to Hans.
All right. I guess once again we're going to start shooting at war puppets, starting with that one. Are they within a closer range now?
This one is the same range.
Yeah. What about the other two? The one next to Darius and the one next to
Yeah, they're totally, yeah, and I'll say they're even close range. I mean, than
short range.
one of them is anyway.
All right. Single shot. And I hit him in the right arm
Okay.
for 6 damage.
6 is just enough to drop him with no critical damage. And so he drops.
All right, and then I'd like to attempt to blast this guy up here. Just 'cause I'm kind of mad at him because I've killed him twice now.
All right.
No, in range.
Remember, you can do things like aim for the head.
That's take the full action though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've already used half action to kill this one, and that one hits. For damage. 13 damage against this guy.
All
To
right.
the left arm.
13 damage. Let's see here. Once again, the you hear snapping and cracking noises as the other arm is blown off. Isn't this the one that... Who blew the arm off? Is this one?
Yeah, it was this guy up here that I blew the right arm off, and I'm blowing the left arm off.
Was it Ramirez that melted the face off of the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Actually, one of us blew the face off the other, and the other one ripped the arm off. I don't know who.
Pretty sure I was the arm guy, but don't quote me on that one.
Yeah,
well,
you may have been. I don't know.
This one is wandering around now with no arms. He is no threat, but he is gross. But he can't hurt you. Okay, let's see. Darius.
Darius will leap to the aid of his right-hand man Ramirez, and I'm gonna try to cut that thing down. And if I guess if I hit with my first attack, I'll use the other half action I have to lop off its head. But let's see. I think I got any bonuses here. Nope. All right. Standard. That's a hit.
Left leg. 15 energy
points of
damage. Curious to see what that does. So let's see, that would be 9 on the left leg. 9 left leg. It says the force of the attack reduces the leg to little more than a chunk of sizzling gristle. You lob off the leg, it's utterly lost. The thing falls over anyways. And you can still take another minor action as this thing simply falls into the abyss, having most of its leg chopped off.
Excellent slice, sir.
Thank you. I'll keep you covered. Keep blasting them down.
With pleasure.
And Darius just kind of readjusts himself, strikes a pose next to Ramirez.
Nice. Okay. Tanner. Seeing Tanner, I'm gonna put Ramirez here. I apologize.
That's alright.
Should be your character name. There we go. Ramirez.
Yeah, he's within short range. Yeah, I'll be taking out that last one there.
Alright.
Let's go. Attack.
How's your all's ammo?
It's doing okay for now.
Doing okay?
We'll see.
I got about 2/3 of my ammo left.
5.5 degrees success to the left arm. That's damage.
Does he have a left arm?
We'll do the left leg.
Okay. And that's 5 hits for damage.
Go ahead and roll for the damage. Yeah. Oh wait. Well, did you do semi-auto? Is that?
Alright, just 1 hit then. One of these days I'll figure out how this works. Well, that's still 12 points of damage with penetrating 7 right to his left leg.
All right, 12. So that's six critical damage to his left leg. 6 critical left leg. It says the attack burns off the foot, charring the flesh, emitting a foul stench in this space. He was walking about before, and now his foot is basically a charred stump, and now he's just like hobbling slowly, falling over in places, sometimes getting up, falling over. There's this pleading look in his eyes, in his glowing, warp-filled eyes. Let's see here. 5713. Oh wait, Ramirez, do you have anything else you can do?
Guess I'll start aiming again for next round.
Yeah, okay, you take an extended action. That's a good idea. Let's see, an extended action for aim. Well, you could... Yeah, so if you do a full action as an extended action, it'll give you a plus 20 on your next attack, but it'll take a full action the next turn.
Nice.
Okay. 5713.
I would like to press the start button.
Nice. This whole thing has just been you like incensing and doing stuff like that, and now you're just about to press the button the whole time. No. One of the things, so the machine spirit, it has questions. It says, query, if the captain is dead and the abominations have taken the ship, why do you activate the Geller field? We are in real space.
Response! The warp has followed you into real space and must be sent back whence it came.
Yeah, because in machine terms, like I'm kind of like colloquially talking about it, but the machine is like error, real space, function, undefined. It's just like saying, hey, I'm in real space. And then you're like, no, that is the error. Something is not in real, and so you're like hacking into this thing in a sense and also talking to it. All right. I'll give you a plus 10. We'll see if that works. It failed. Error. Error. In real space. Geller field not designed to activate. Unknown effects and all this kind of stuff.
What you have failed to account for is that the Omnissiah's very blessing is with me. I would like to spend 1 fate point to increase my degree of success by 1.
What does that look like in role-playing terms? Like when you get this error
just
back?
Press the button again.
Start
pressing it really fast.
Wait, what did you say, Tanner?
Wouldn't that still be a degree of failure?
No, 0.8 degrees of failure is a success.
Okay.
It has previously occurred rather counterintuitively. A negative value is still a success so long as you do not achieve a positive number of degrees of failure.
Right.
All right. All of a sudden, like you feel the hair growing on your skin, like raising, in places as the air changes, and you can hear this loud hum, and the machine comes to life, and it illuminates around you, and the field crackles loudly as the machine says, just like purge the abomination, bring back the Emperor's bounty. The Geller field is on. That did not kill these things. That wasn't the goal.
No.
You can only hope that it had the effect that you intended. Now you need to get there.
That's a great question. I have eyes.
Aha!
In the throne room.
Aha!
Behold,
Check
all of my multi-step planning.
Let's see. There we go. Do that, and let me do a couple things here. So I presume that you try to have it float up to the up there. You know?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So. Good news and bad news. The good news is that yes, this Psyker sits on the command throne of the Emperor's bounty, surrounded now with no psychic shield. The bad news is that he's also surrounded by a dozen or more of these warp puppets, and more that he can draw from.
That is moderately unfortunate. However, I have used the power of superior technology to defeat them, because my servo skull can fly.
This is true. Let me see what
I would like to just go over them.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes. The servo skull can see and it can fly around. It also has a gun. I'm going to see if
it also has a gun. My intention is to attempt to engage in a little bit of remote murder.
Hitting them with the drone.
Yeah, it flies and they don't. You're right. I'm trying to think if there's anything that he can do in response. I'm trying to think.
He would have to notice it, which I'm hoping he hasn't quite done yet.
Well, yeah, but like if you start shooting the warp husks, so I'm trying to think if. I don't think he would. I think actually you see something else that's really useful. Do you start having it shoot these things?
No, I wanted to shoot him. I don't care about those things.
Alright, yeah, roll for initiative then, a separate initiative account.
Alrighty, well, I can definitely navigate roll 20 successfully. Alright, Servo Skull, here we go. I definitely have the strangest feeling, but I don't know how this works. Yes, alright, well, let's... For some reason, every time I try to hit the initiative button, the game is it does not quite understand what's going on. But I think that if I click this and then press this button, aha!
Okay, let's see.
It gives me a roll.
Agility is a +4. Am I crazy? Let me make sure that I'm not crazy here. I should have just clicked the initiative button like everybody else.
Well, when I previously clicked the initiative button with my other guy, it gave me a result of 2, which is less than my agility modifier, and so I suspect that this button hates me or doesn't work.
I mean, my initiative button doesn't work either, so you're not.
It is. My question. It is the first digit, right, of your agility. Am I crazy? Okay, if that's the case, then it's a 12, so he's able to act first. So he sees this servo skull, sees that gravity has defeated him, considers his options, and gets up from the command throne and rapidly flees through another door into a side room.
Wait, he has spotted my servo skull?
Oh, I thought you said you were going to start shooting him.
I was going to start shooting him. I haven't started yet.
Okay, yeah, let's see if you get a surprise round. You just do a, have the servo skull do a, there's a thing for this.
Concealment check, perhaps?
Ah, nice.
Or a silent move? It's the same value.
Silent move, yeah.
All right.
If that passes, then you'll get a surprise
Any
attack.
modifiers on this? It does achieve degrees of failure, which I'll allow, you know?
All right.
I'll allow it.
He runs away. Now, the good news is that you saw where he ran. There's a door that opened here, and then He sealed it from the other side. So.
Fool, it is time, at long last, for Captain Servo Skull.
This was the plan all along.
Am I capable of operating this throne? How does this interface?
Yeah, no. Yeah, so like the way this works is kind of like the Matrix, like those ships from the Matrix where you have to like jab something into you.
Into your skull, perhaps, would you say?
Yeah, I don't think he could do it. No, I'm sorry. You might be able to do it using your Archaeotech skill, as it is Archaeotech as well. Or Darius could do it because he's actually capable and trained in being able to do that. But...
Rats, alright. Well,
Now, you could just murder all these things.
I guess if I've got time and nothing else to do.
So you have 30 rounds, so I'm going to leave it up to this. You can roll a D100 twice, and the first D100 will tell you how many you decapitate as a percentage, and the second will tell you how much ammo you use to do it. That way we're not rolling like literally 24 times, or 30 or 40 times.
Do you want me to roll some D100s here?
And you can add any combat bonus it would have to that D100 roll.
I don't know that it has a lot.
It has not. No, yeah. So you could just roll a D100 twice.
Alright, well, one D100 is that number.
That sucks.
It sucks a little bit. And another D100 is the second number.
That also sucks. All right. The good news is that of the 3 that you killed, those are, when I say you killed them, I mean you decapitate them, because that's the goal here, right? It's not just to make them not come back. I will also note you can make a check for something here. You could do using it, you can do an awareness check. And meanwhile, I'm going to pan to everybody else while you do the awareness check. Okay. Meanwhile, back with Darius and everybody else. Now this thing is just flopping around like a fish. You hear more growling off in the distance. You can only, well, actually, I assume that 5713. You tell everybody that the throne is both unoccupied now and no longer has a Psy-shield.
I have seen the throne of the gods, ship, and it was empty.
So
Seems this has been a success. We must return back through the ship post-haste.
What of the former captain?
The dude on the throne left. He ran away.
We're gonna have to take care of him still.
He seemed like he might have been the navigator. Seems like he was the navigator, bro. Yeah, he still might need to be murdered, but he's lost control of the bridge and the vessel's mechanical components. He can no longer space us. So if we can just get up there and then a little hack and slash,
I only see one problem with us leaving here and not immediately chasing down that rogue navigator. Perhaps if he has the skills or someone else on this ship, they could come back here to the Geller field and disable it behind us.
Indeed, we'll have to take care of him.
Let's hunt him down first.
It will be done, Lord Captain.
Well, it's kind of academic. He's probably in the next room over, so.
Then let's form ranks. Hans, you lead the way. Your point man.
All right. I would like to march up here and just chop this guy's head off. Just end his suffering.
Yeah. No arms, one leg, just flopping around. You chop his head off.
Chop his head off.
All right.
Is there perhaps a door over here on the right-hand side of the room?
There is not.
Alright, we might have to fight our way back through then.
Sounds like a good time. And then, yeah, I guess we start marching forward, ready to shoot any spooky things that come out of the darkness.
All right, let's see here. So you all make it to right here, and you see your first one. Since you're doing this whole moving thing, I'll, how do you want to? Are you kind of like shooting as you go? Is that what you're doing, or is that the plan?
I think so.
I would imagine that there's enough guns pointed in the general direction that he should be dead by the time we get up there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are walking and talking, and by talking I mean communicating our displeasure to the abominations, and by communicating our displeasure I mean shooting them.
These guns are shattering.
Everybody can attempt to shoot it, and as long as you don't miss, you'll kill it. And as long as you do enough damage, which I think seems very unlikely that you won't, but we'll see. But so everybody can roll if you. Let's see here. Yeah, Hans can roll for damage. Darius misses.
It's hard to hit things with this hand cannon. It's unwieldy.
Uh-huh.
2.2 degrees of success.
All right.
I did 8 damage to him.
All right. He seems to be dead. So you move past. You make it up to.
And I would just say that whenever we go past dead guys, we chop heads off just to ensure.
Maybe kick them into the abyss a little bit,
All right. Yeah. All right. Then you got 3 here that are ready to act, but you can fire first. Anybody that wants to fire?
I will definitely be firing.
Ooh, there's a hit.
Are these short range? They look short range.
Yeah, I'd say it's all short range. Sorry, I should have told you all that.
I get 1 hit, and that would be.
I'll have E410 shoot.
Damage. Oh, whoa. I actually rolled twice. Take the first one. I messed up on my rolls.
Okay, yeah, you kill that one, and then E410 misses. Now, this is bad news, unless 5713, do you want to shoot?
Oh, well, if it seems like it's necessary, I can shoot at them. See what we've.
It'll get to move if you don't. That's kind of how I'm doing it. Like if you miss, then they'll make it.
That makes perfect sense. Well, let's. Yep. Pew. Nice. Right in the leg there. All right. Let's press some damage buttons. There you go.
All right. Yeah, your bolt just explodes the leg, These things are crawling around. You hear more of these things behind them. Where do you go from here?
Back to the trash.
Yeah, are we climbing back up through the trash chute, guys? Yeah, I guess so. Let's make our way back to the trash chute.
Which way do you go?
If I recall, it's like through this door and up and through. One to the right.
All right, let's see here. I'll put your tokens together and just kind of pan the camera around here. All right, so you come up to here. There's this hallway. These things obviously start to follow you, but they don't make it to you. You'll have like a
close the door behind us.
Ah, yes. There's a door, and you close it. You can even make a check to see if you can lock the door.
This is now we're thinking with portholes. All right, let's see. I keep closing my character sheet here. What check would I be? Tech use?
Yeah.
Use teching?
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
you lock the door, preventing
Great
anything from following you further, and you don't even hear them anymore. All right, so
yes, we proceed through the hallway.
there's only one direction to go from here. So I assume that you do this switchback, and you make it back to here, and then back into here. Now, once you get to here, you have this area going down, and then you have the hall going up. This area is covered with trash and muck and disgusting stuff. And then you have about I think I said it was like a 30-foot climb. It's a climb to try to get back up if that's your plan.
What do you guys think? Do we want to do that plan? We could have like a servo skull watch at the top so we'll know if it's safe, I guess.
Really thinking, Commander.
And during this time, you can also roll another 2 D100s 3 times if you want. 5, 7, 1, 3 to see how much ammo you use and how many things you kill. So far, you've used 30-something% of your ammo, so you have. Let's see, how much do you have left? You have
Needs to grade at this whole violence thing.
27. Oof, that's bad. Okay, he kills one, and you use another 33% of your ammo, so you're now at 66% of, well, 33% of 27. I need a calculator at this point.
As I feel like I was promised there would be no math. Yeah, math has come
You have
from-
20 rounds left. All right, then you killed 47% of them that time, and wait, no, is that a 99? You killed 99% of them on the second.
99% on the second of the determining how many I hit. I got
Okay.
99 of them.
And then you burn up 47% of the ammo. It has 11 shots left, and there's one left alive.
It will be the witness.
Now, these are things that you've decapitated, but what did you get on your awareness check? I forgot to ask about that.
I succeeded. That was, of course, scrolling. 0.5 degrees of success.
So the good news is that these large crowds you seem to have winnowed down with laser lasgun fire, just like choo 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 choo, and they'll fall, and then he'll like float next to it and cut its head off and keep going. And this brave little servo skull has been worth his credits for sure. But here's the really bad news. There's something odd about this room that you notice through the servo skull. There are these 2 giant piles of dead bodies. And every so often, at this point just 2d4 of them, every so often, more of these things will come up out of these piles.
Well, who needs to start a fire?
Yeah, I have lasers. Can I use the lasers to begin a fire?
Yeah, I'll say that in one round there is a chance you might be able to set one of those piles on fire, but it'll be one pile. You probably can only try this once, and you only have one of these left before you make it up, or you can make an attempt to climb, or you can wait. Meanwhile, you feel all of you start to feel a little dizzy.
Is the atmosphere still venting? Question mark.
You could make a. Let's see, Hans. I think you have down here. You have Tactica Imperialis. You could make for this. Otherwise, you would have to do a Medicaid check.
Roll. Submit. I failed.
You're not sure.
I'm confused and dizzy. I want to sit down.
Meanwhile, to set the corpse pile on fire,
How about alternative plan? Could I, instead of destroying my enemies, could I herd these cats out of the room, open a door, and just be like, "Come follow the floating skull," and just lead them out?
you don't have control of the doors, and they're all locked.
I don't. There's no one contesting me, however. The ship is freed.
It is not. In
Rats.
fact, yeah.
Captain Servosco is being very disappointed. All right, let's
He
start.
just destroyed an entire army. I think he's very heroic.
He's
I'm
trying
proud of
so
Lord
hard
Servosco.
and getting so far, and in the end, it isn't even mattering. Can he? All right, how do we start these?
You're not
fights?
allowed. I told Tanner he wasn't allowed. You're not allowed to either.
No pop culture reference.
Tanner's such a badass Warhammer character, and then you're coming in. Who's the author of that song? I can't remember.
No, I've been banned from pop culture references,
All right.
so unfortunately can't answer that question. Meanwhile, I haven't even started the fire, so how do I start it?
It's Linkin Park. Let's just make it a regular skill check. So
Yes, my fire skill.
yeah, so you could do a regular attack to try to do it, or you could do an attack. That's probably
All
your
right,
best bet.
can I aim for this attack?
You can, but you either have to wait around, or you have to climb up while you're doing this, and it would happen concurrently.
I feel like we can be patient, unless we can't be patient. I asked the group, can we be patient?
Let me see.
If you
What are we being patient for?
Fire!
I'm confused.
Burning of piles of bodies. Otherwise, when we get to the top of this here garbage chute, we will be consumed by the ravenous hordes.
You may absolutely burn the bodies. I just worry it might burn through the rest of our air.
We can always make more air.
Does anyone else have a void suit? I definitely have a void suit on my character that Darius has.
Wait, dude.
I think we all started with void suits, didn't we?
Let me take a quick look.
I
Yeah,
thought.
I mean, if we're
that in
concerned about
particular-
the
I think most people don't, if I recall correctly, and then one person has a respirator or.
I can.
I have a Xeno mesh suit, an autoquill, data slab, microbead, multi-key, but not a. Nope, not a still suit.
well, if we're
I
worried
have a
about
void
if we're a little worried about our oxygen being the thing making us woozy, Darius will kind of look left and right and press a button and helmet pops out, right, covers him up.
And suddenly you feel a lot better. You have like a lingering headache, but you suddenly feel a lot better.
Well, squad, it seems that the atmosphere is leaving us here.
And how do we get it to stop leaving us, sir?
That is a good question. He turns to the tech priest once again.
Well,
Do you have an
think
answer for us?
that this is a very simple matter of efficacious distribution of resources. You see, not all of us are necessary to pilot this ship. So some of us could remain where the atmosphere is, and others of us could go where the atmosphere. Only the important individuals could go where the atmosphere isn't. With our limited respiration capacity.
What if the atmosphere is being left through the many lengths of this ship that we cannot reach? Perhaps we might lose members along the way.
You're making an excellent argument. In that case, I would say that you should hurry.
Pardon me.
Bless you.
Bless you. It seems reaching that throne is of utmost importance.
All
and
right.
I'm regretting not putting more effort into finding melta-bombs for us.
Then I would recommend that you begin defeating gravity imminently and get up there. I've successfully lit a single pile of bodies on fire.
Meanwhile, you hear You all hear echoing from this hole. Help, please. Please help.
No, screw that.
I'm ignoring that.
We're going to that trash chute. We're going up that trash chute as fast as we can.
Okay, everybody trying to climb, unless you have equipment that will help you do it, you either have to make a toughness check at -10, except for Darius and 5713.
Okay. If I put my void suit on, will that help me?
You have a void suit.
Yeah, it says in my starting skills, talents, and gear that I do have a void suit.
Is that a skill or is it a piece of equipment?
It says starting gear, void
Gear.
suit.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. And suddenly you feel a lot better.
Okay, great. And now I make a toughness check.
Yeah. Anybody trying to climb, unless you have a plan or a trick or a piece of equipment.
I assist Darius in his climbing because he needs to get to the top.
Oh, I think I can climb just fine because I have a void suit. I think it's
I'm
those who are lacking one.
I would like to assist you regardless.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to get up.
Let me get up on your shoulders just to start my climb.
Oh, okay. That'll be a +10 for anybody helping anybody up.
I can help another up.
All right.
I'm sorry, Ross. Who needs to make a toughness check here?
It'd be you, and then anybody else that's climbing that Ramirez is helping. So, Hans, perhaps?
I'll climb.
Uh-oh.
So that is...
Arius had a few too many chicken dinners before we got here.
I think
I
that's
have a
fall.
+10 to that, right?
+10? No, it'd just be a raw check. Unless you have like a
Alright.
skill related to it or something.
Alright. I also fall over.
You all do still have maybe 1 or 2 of your fate things left. So, I mean... Otherwise, I think you'll take D10 damage. That damage will probably be experienced as fatigue, which is still pretty devastating. Yeah, and your armor won't help you.
I can't dodge a fall, can I?
It is said that the key to flying is to throw yourself at the planet and miss.
Okay,
Is there perhaps... Oh, this is a chute. It's not a machine. There's no way to reverse it. Gosh, this might be the one time in my life I have not had 50 feet of rope and a grappling hook within arm's reach.
Yeah, we've the over-reliance on technology, you know. You don't think that a good old-fashioned rope would do it for you, but sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think I have any equipment that can help
You
me.
find yourself down at the bottom of this trash chute as the air is running out, while 2 of you, 3 of you have something to breathe. 2 of you do not, unless.
We might just have to assist from somewhere else, I'm afraid. Sorry, my brain's not been with me this weekend.
Oh, it's the lack of oxygen doing that to you.
I'm also recovering from a flu in real life, so...
Oof.
Well, what do you guys think? Do we try more on this trash chute? Where do we go? I don't think we've seen any other... I don't believe we've seen any other exits. Yeah.
I think you have to go up this way. We can't do some kind of like human pyramid to get one person up to the top.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a plan, whatever the plan is. You want to try to have like 2 people assist to get 1 person up and then try to assist from the top or something. Or, I mean, or if you have any other ideas. It's a classic. It's true. We're back to D&D now. Like, this is just plain old.
All right.
How do you overcome physics?
Can a servo skull carry a body?
I should also note that, let's see, let me make sure that Roar doesn't have a gear and tools.
He does have his fancy arm that does strong things.
It turns out, he has a void suit. So it looks like maybe Ramirez...
The arm is an interesting idea. Could the arm, like, as he climbs up, like, bend parts of the shaft so there's a part for the rest of us to grip? Something like that, like morphing the shaft.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Could I like try and use my sword to like stab it into the side of the wall to create a little shelf to stand on? Is that thing I could do or no?
Yeah, you could do anything. You could try to do anything. I was gonna note, looking at it, it looks like Ramirez is the only one actually without a void suit. When I look at it, and so I'm gonna tell you the effects. Ramirez, you have a... It offers a choice as you start experiencing air hunger. You can choose either at this point, -15 penalty, or you can take a point of damage.
Accept penalty.
Alright, so you're -15, and you have 2 rounds before you fall unconscious.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Commander. I think I am not... I think I might need to return.
I've had a moment of inspiration. Up in the command deck, is there any wiring that is either loose or non-essential?
Yeah, you easily find something. You would just need to do a simple tech check to ensure that it's not going to like fry you and that you can separate it without it causing some sort of unintended effect.
All right, well, I would like to attempt to do that and to acquire a rope equivalent of wiring.
Ooh.
So would that be a me tech check or a servo skull tech check?
It would be the servo skull.
All right.
Oof.
Darius is like clutching Ramirez.
It has
in his
no
arms.
capacity to do anything, fortunately.
It can sneak and shoot.
We'll
And
get you out of here,
and-
Ramirez. We'll get you out of here.
I just
trust
eat
you,
the
Commander.
damage and do it anyway.
My deepest regret.
And if you falter, your body will continue to support the dynasty. You will
I
be
know,
my
Captain.
most glorious servitor.
I know, Captain. It'll be my pleasure to serve in the glory of the Empire on to death, which I could not do in life.
Wipe away a single tear. No.
You try, but you just hit the helmet. Oh.
Oh no, you're right. The cruel irony.
Okay. Here's the devil's bargain. You have a servo skull with a las pistol. You see cabling. No, you do not have a clear understanding of what you're going to shoot. So there are 2 downsides to this. One is that, and I'll just assume, I'll fast forward time, so again you'll roll a D100 for the amount of ammo you use. And the second downside is another D100 to make sure that you don't blow up something critical to the ship. And I'm going to set a target number that you're not going to know what it is.
Okay. First D100. 11.
That's good.
Good. Second D100. Unknown number. No whammies.
Oh, that's good. Okay. You,
Alright.
and you now have, this thing has 8 rounds left in its las pistol, and that's it.
All right.
And you sear off some cabling that's plenty long enough, and even more than 1 strand. And the servo skull is able to loop it. I think that's like, I used to do rappelling and stuff, and you know, sometimes you don't have to tie it off necessarily. You can just loop it, And then once you get it down the bottom, you can do other things with it. Crew 6 or whatever you need.
Oh, can we even have the servo skulls work together on this?
Yeah, you know, so you drop some cables down and...
It's true what they say. 2 heads are better than 1.
This takes up one of the 2 remaining rounds of consciousness for Ramirez, but you make it up.
That is fair.
And these things are here waiting.
I really wish I had some grenades. I got me some grenades.
I successfully burned 1 pile.
I guess we need to charge. If we want to have a good shot at saving Ramirez, we need to charge right on through, and I will try to get to the throne wall.
Well, you need to charge right on through. We can crowd control.
Yeah, I will be. I intend to fully cover Captain Darius as he makes his way to the chair. Use my body as a shield if I have to.
Okay, there's actually a thing for that. You can actually do covering fire, which forces targets to take cover when you're successful if you wanted to try to do that. It says suppressing fire. It's a full turn. It forces them to take cover on their turn.
That is what I would like to do.
All right.
So
I would also like to attempt to provide covering fire.
All right.
it's a minus 22 ballistic skill though.
That's not for you. That's for them. I think.
Oh, that's for them. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, then what do we have to do?
You just have to
Roll
hit.
Just have to hit.
Yeah.
All right,
now
I can hit.
it won't damage them. It'll just force them into cover, and they minus 20 for them to shoot. They're not going to shoot anyway, but.
And how close are they? Is this short range?
Good question. I think it's normal range.
Rats.
And it's a. I'm going to assume it's a single shot.
It's just like, I think, making one attack roll to represent.
And I hit, or I cover him.
All right. So let's see. I will say. Let me see how many targets it says. Suppressing fire.
I attempt to move with Captain Darius as I do this, or do I have to stand back here while I do this?
You can kind of, get into like a firing position. I'll actually say that you can manage to do this with a group if the goal is for him to run. And I'll also have E410 do it. E410. Misses. Okay. Well, nonetheless. Okay. All right. Yeah, you could run if you wanted to. What is your running speed? I think it's 120 meters in combat. I think it goes like 6, 9, 12 or something right there, right? Like if you're doing a full-out sprint.
Unfortunately, it seems I didn't mark that down. I never passed that in the rules.
Okay, I think I have it on somebody else, and I bet it's going to be the same, so I have it right here for this person, I bet. 3, 6, 9. So if you run, you can go 18 meters? Like, oh god. That doesn't sound right. Is that right? 180 meters is a long ways, right? I'm trying to think.
I mean,
It's
18
a long
meters
distance.
is like 50 feet. So
180 meters is about 600 feet.
yeah,
Oof.
108 meters does seem kind of far.
I think maybe I had this distance. No, I didn't. I remember this is just a really, really long chamber. We talked about that. Yeah, so I think. Whoops, sorry about that. I think.
So it's like our character tokens are kind of huge, aren't they?
No, this
Yeah,
is
like
silly.
16,
Yeah, no, this is messed
16
up.
feet.
I'll just say you can make it. Yeah, this distance is silly at that point.
I love it when you say that.
Yeah,
That's my favorite things for you to say.
For like a comparison for, I guess, other games, our characters are like, for D&D, they're like an equivalent of a 3x3 on the grid right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can make it. Yeah, the distance is screwed up.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna run up there, and even if I don't make it this turn, as soon as I can, I'm jamming myself onto the throne, putting all the necessary machinery in, and I guess my first thing will be to pull up life support. It's out of vision for me as the player. I can't see in the darkness.
I'm gonna give you some vision.
You can see, however, in the Omnissiah's light.
So this will take. It took you. I will say it took a full turn for you to get here, and you sit down in the command throne and you get ready to do the matrix thing and plug yourself in. For everyone else, well, it's going to be their turn now. They're suppressed, so they're pinned down this turn. So it's your turn again. So it comes down to whether or not you can keep them pinned down or not, or kill them, or whether or not they can make it to Darius and interrupt him. Meanwhile, Ramirez, you're unconscious
Yes.
and dying.
Yes.
Could I position myself up here? How long would that take me? A full turn just to get up there?
From where you are, I'll say it takes.
I want to position it in myself in such a way that they can't
What type of weapon do you have? You just have like a regular mono filament?
I have a
type
mono
blade?
blade sword, and then my hell gun, and my goal is just to put myself in a position where
I love it. No, you
put
totally.
them between me. Put me between them and Darius. Is what I'd like to do.
You can get their attention. The good news is they're stupid, so I'll make you a deal. If you do that, you make it, and you can still take a half action to attack, and you can still parry once. So.
All right. Yeah, that's what we're going to do then. Then we're going to attack the closest one with
That's awesome.
my hell gun.
You just run up and turn around, and you're like, okay.
Go to my character sheet, roll to attack. I'm assuming they're no aim. They're within short range.
It is short range, yeah.
And submit. And I miss. Oh no.
No. Okay.
I don't miss. What is this?
All right. Let's see. Ramirez, you're unconscious. 5713. E410 is just going to attack.
Yeah, I think I'm team attack right now, I suppose.
Just to kind of try to pin him down. He's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I keep.
This is normal range for you.
Wisdom,
He does pin this group down. I will say that he can attack Khans though, because they're right there.
Give it your best shot.
More shooting.
Oh no, that's going to be the group that attacks Hans. Okay.
No.
You do have a servo skull, if you want to use that. You have 2 servo skulls.
We do. One's a little short on ammo. Well, how about, can we use the servo skulls to try to light these piles of bodies on fire?
You can try to do that. There's no air. So I'll say that you can do it, but the attack is at -20.
I think, given the circumstances, I'm willing to do that, and hopefully air will resume imminently. So
yeah, I think it's a good payout, right? Because they're going to keep popping up.
yeah, I think that's right. All right, I have one here. Let's look at you.
Let's kind of park them here symbolically.
And then for other modifiers, I do -20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, -20. Submit! Alright, that doesn't quite pan out. Then would I do another one for representing the other skull?
The other servo skull.
Question mark?
Yeah. You can do for the other servo skull for sure.
Alright.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's the wrong key. Aha! Surely that one missed so badly that it succeeded.
I will also
was that
note
an
that
actual one? Oh, that was a 15. Sorry.
you have 1 minute before Ramirez dies.
Plenty of time.
Indeed.
And
Hush you. You're dead.
Whenever you feel like, Captain.
I'm looking here. Oh, that's not what I want to look for. I want to see what skill Darius would have to do. These things are going to move, and then Darius can attempt this skill. It would have to be. I feel like, don't you have a thing about being able to control ships? Why is that not?
Astromancy? That might be astromancy.
Yeah, alright, yeah, astromancy. Yeah, we'll call it that. That one, yeah. Okay, so, the first thing that's going to happen is these things are going to move up, the ones that aren't pinned down, and attack Hans. Hans, you can attempt to dodge if you want, or
We
parry.
are going to attempt to parry.
You can do one of them. They're going to make 2 attacks.
And 1.4 to parry. Whatever he tries to do.
No aim. Standard. And didn't give me the chance. Oh yeah, because it's a melee attack, of course. Duh. Alright, so yeah, you parry the first attack. The second one
Ha!
misses.
Ha ha!
So you ting, and you parry the first one, and then you dodge the second one as these things come up to you as you defend Captain Darius. Darius, you'll need to make 1 successful astromancy check to bring these systems back online.
Alright, if I fail this, I am fully willing to go through more fate points and even earn one permanently. But let me make a roll. Let's see how well this goes. Fingers crossed. Good success.
Okay, you gain command of the Emperor's bounty, and the first thing you know, you're able to overcome the void lock where this rogue Psyker is, and you cancel the void lock. There are more of these things that start pouring through, but you realize that there are more piles of these things, and you can sense across the ship that there are endless tides of these bodies that could eventually make it in here. It's clear that you need to kill this thing. And he is in the Navigator Oculus, which is in this chamber here. Only a couple of 100 feet away.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lock all the other doors that might let him escape from there.
Yeah. So you seal it off, you make it to where you can't escape. You also seal, if you want, you can seal the room to where these other things can't get in, at least not right away. So you just have the things in this room you're dealing with. And that helps you bring the air back into this room and prioritize life support. So Ramirez, you can breathe, and you come back to life.
I live. Glory to Lord Captain Darius! And he's just gonna start stumbling to his feet, getting his weapon again.
Let's see, with that, you don't have to stay, you can give whatever commands you want to the ship. You don't have to stay connected to it or anything. You can give commands and then leave. You can stay connected, whatever you want to do. Hans.
I am going to... So, I'm going to attempt to... first of all, shoot at one of them with my gun. Roll to attack. Nothing. I'm assuming they're point blank since they are.
Yeah.
And I hit in the left arm of one of them.
Okay.
Damage, and that would be 7 damage.
Alright, it's just 1 critical damage. You knock it in the arm, it falls to the ground, apparently dead.
Yeah, apparently. And then can I use my sword to attempt to strike this other guy?
I think so, as long as it's a half action. As long as the
I
two
mean,
things are
it
half
should be
action.
just the standard attack, which is a half action.
Yeah.
So. Standard attack. Modifiers. Oh, and I miss. Oh well.
Alright, 5713. E410 is going to help and start moving.
Alright, it is time to put our minds to the destruction of this heretic. And so I would like to send the servo skulls into the danger room.
Oh, 410's weapon malfunctions.
Rip.
Does it blow up in his face? Is that possible?
I'm gonna give the servo skulls a chance to get swatted at if they're gonna try to move into this door.
Extremely lame, but I will allow it.
Okay. Alright. Misses. So that's good.
Alright. Once they get in, I would like to shout, "Close the door!"
Oh, you want me to close them in there with them?
Yeah. We've checkmated the villain.
Sure. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Darius will close the original door as soon as it is asked of him.
Alright, time for Plan D. Same as Plan B. Murder with the skulls.
Okay.
Add insult to injury. You know, I want to close the door stylishly as one of the zombies are coming through, lop it in half.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great. Now there's half of a zombie trying to kill us.
Make a, gosh darn it. It would be this will be a raw check, an agility check, or an intelligence check. Just a regular one.
I
and
have
if
one
you do
more
it-
point in intelligence. Let's see. What happens if it passes?
You just like chop its arm off, but it's still hobbling around in there. Let's see here. Gosh darn it. Oh, because I'm not on the right layer. That's why it's not working. Oh my gosh, I put doors everywhere because I didn't know what I was doing. Alright, bam. There's a door now, finally. And it is locked for now. Servo skulls, meanwhile, comes down to this. First of all, you've got these things still coming back to life, you know, and you're fighting them and everything. And in order to even control the ship, Darius is going to need to, you know, to do that. So that's a problem. These servo skulls, what do you do with them now?
I would like to attack and destroy our great foe.
All right, I'll bring him into range to the Navigator's Oculus, where he sits, and he gets up from it, and he is going to. There's not much he can do. He's going to
Repent his sins to the God Emperor and pray for mercy.
I think he's just going to
Late.
keep trying to dodge and hope that his warp puppets can kill you in the meantime. So we're back to rounds. You can go ahead and roll to attack with these.
All right. No aim in range.
Can you
And
close range if you want, you know, because you can get
close range.
outside of arm's reach, but close enough to try to shoot him, right? You know,
Is that short range or point blank?
short range, point blank, he's going to be able to swipe.
All right, short range. It slaps would be very scary, and I can full auto, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's one, and shallst I do two?
Yeah. Actually, they don't have full auto, it appears. They just have single shot. which is fine.
Interesting. Well then, short range, single shot, boop-a-doop. Okay, look at that.
Alright, you can roll for damage twice. 9 damage, 3 damage, so okay, it does 11 damage. You start shooting this thing, and you hear an inhuman scream, and screeching starts to come across the Vox. Let's see here. And
Ow! No! You have an open mic over there. Please mute yourself.
I do not believe he's gonna be muting himself anytime soon.
Well, then we shall mute him for him forever.
let's see. I think that's back to the top of the round. Hans.
Hans is going to attempt to shoot the guy standing right next to him.
All right.
No aim. Point blank. Single shot. And I hit.
Oh, and I forgot to see how many come back. But you do hit. Roll for damage.
For 9 damage
Boom.
against his body.
Critical hit 3, falls to the ground dead. Let me see how many come back. This is a different number that appear. The same number come back. This one arises. And these have actually been decapitated by the servo squad. That was kind of what was going on here. So, meanwhile,
Can I take my second attack at this guy that just rose up?
you can take your second attack. Yeah, because it would have happened. This would have happened beforehand.
Alright.
There are 7 more that appear.
Oh, okay, guys. Some help would be greatly appreciated.
They'll be fine.
I'll be
I
over
do
there
not
as soon as I can.
Like the center of attention.
This is 40k right here with Hans, who's just like some scrub from the bottom of the ship, and there's just armies of undead rising up. No one will know if you've died here for the Emperor today, but
I
Well,
am
no.
composing
This is
your
the
eulogy.
second
the
one
Emperor
hit.
shall know your deeds.
Heroically buried beneath the alien boards.
The second one blows off his leg. For
I'll say-
14 damage.
I'll say he's dead now, for sure.
Alright. Yeah, take that.
Alright.
And then I prepare my sword to parry off any more of these guys who want to try to swing at me.
Okay, Darius. I guess you probably... You
I
can
have an
disconnect if you...
interesting
As long as you
idea.
don't want any new commands, you can disconnect. Otherwise, you have to stay.
Could you mute this other
Interesting.
guy over the Vox channel?
I will immediately shut off the Vox being communicated. But I have an idea. These zombies are not very nimble. How poorly do you guys think they would fare if I shut off the gravity?
Quite poorly,
Oh.
Commander.
Yeah, that's possibly a strategy.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tap the micro bead so everybody on the team hears me, and I say, "Get ready, gravity's about to disappear on us." And then I'm gonna shut off the gravity, and I'm gonna try to shunt the ship like ever so slightly downwards, so the gravity disappears, and nobody but my team members is ready for the fact that everybody's just gonna fly upwards.
Yeah,
like
they do
7
that,
feet.
and all of a sudden, so there's a plus side and a downside to this, but it's too late. You already decided to do it. The good news is that works, and all of a sudden, the hordes of the warp puppets charging Hans, a dozen of them almost. All of a sudden, they just lose their footing. They just start flying around, and 0G as Hans braces himself, and everybody else does. The bad news is that there's literally gigantic piles of these things that were being held down by gravity, and now they're not. And so there's clouds of these bodies just floating around everywhere, and just the entire space is filling up with these bodies that are getting.
But the good news is that they cannot propel themselves through space, so
Yeah.
they remain defeated.
Oh, next turn perhaps. If everybody has something to grab onto, we can vent the atmosphere violently.
Yeah.
Windows behind this.
Does Ramirez
the-
want to go unconscious again?
Tanner, we have.
If victory is achieved, then so be it.
We will remember your sacrifice.
I
Ramirez
love it
will
all.
start floating to the closest thing you can hang on to. I know you will.
The
Fly to
pure-
the Emperor!
the purity of the hatred in the heart of Darius. Also, to just be so long as we can kill them all, it's worth everything.
Part of me wonders how much of this is Imperium hatred and how much this is just him giving a fuck about his friends. Although you could argue, in a way, that's hatred too. Nah.
Meanwhile, so you do all that. You're causing just utter chaos. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with the math yet, with these clouds of bodies like flying around, animating, venting off into space, everybody hanging on. I don't know yet. Meanwhile, though, and importantly related to that is the bad guy with the servo skulls. Now, you fired 2 more rounds, so that one is down to 10. And the other one, I can't remember. Do you know how many rounds it has? It's probably getting down to close to 20, because it fired in the chamber several times, and it's also fired here.
I would say that it has plenty of wrath remaining.
Indeed. All
I
right,
do
you
this
can
for literally minutes.
roll to hit and for damage. Also, he's going to try to dodge, of course. I should have done that last time, but I won't.
No, I think he was doing the correct amount of dodging before. Okay, let's see.
He
Short
succeeds on the first attack that you make.
Oh no!
1 sec, okay, guys? Can use the washroom real quick.
Alrighty.
It missed.
Alright.
Anyway, let's see. No aim, short range, single shot.
Nice.
Aha! He has now been shot in both legs.
Yeah, you're starting to just tear this guy apart. Roll for damage.
Ah, right. Damage, yes. Boop.
4 damage. Okay, let me see here. I'm tracking his damage.
Does he seem to be dying, or is he kind of okay with this?
He is not okay with it, but he's not dead yet.
Alright. Great.
Meanwhile, back here with all this chaos, I really have to figure out how I'm going to wrap all of this into one thing. I'm basically going to say that if you vent the atmosphere, it's going to work. The downside is that there's a chance that you'll vent your companions. That seems fair to me. Into the cold void of space. So, I mean, if you vent the atmosphere, that's... If it works on one thing, it's going to work on the other. Now, I will give them a bonus, but it would be a lethal failure if they fail.
Some of even with their void suits, because some of the members do have void suits.
Yeah, and
I'll
give
one of guess they might survive.
Yeah, they will survive, except for 5713 only has a ventilator, and then Ramirez and 5713.
I have a void suit and a ventilator.
Oh, my bad. Okay, Ramirez, I will give you a +20 to the check because you were forewarned. You'll basically be holding on while the place vents the atmosphere,
An idea as well is anyone who fails a check, could they perhaps permanently burn a point of fate to hold on?
How much fate do you have left? Oh, wait, he's at the bathroom.
There's one of the mechanics that from what I understand is, I went and double checked this. It's you have fate that you spend every session for just rerolls, but you can permanently burn a point of maximum fate to change the outcome in such a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you...
I am out of fate points, just FYI.
You'll just be floating in space in your void suit. You won't be able to help if something else happens, but...
Just throwing it out there. Could you vent the atmosphere of the navigator's room?
Probably. If there's, I could try to. It might not kill him though. Is my worry there.
But I feel like if we could just toss him out the ship, that'd be progress,
Hit him with the macro cannon afterwards.
Yeah. Or leave him for
That's awesome.
to be found in a few thousand years.
Yeah, do you want to... Which would you like to do? You want to try to vent the Oculus chamber, or this chamber, or what do you think?
I think both.
Okay. Both. All right, everybody make a raw strength or toughness check at +20.
Uh-oh.
I'll do it for
I
war.
suppose I can't use agility for this.
Yeah, you can use agility too. Yeah, totally.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. I know what I'm. I might have toughness. I was like, man, I don't have anything here.
Hans, you go flying off into space in your void suit. You have to hope to be picked up by a gun cutter later, assuming your friends aren't murdered.
You just hear the Wilhelm scream as I go flying out the door.
I am feeling fateful. I think I have 1 fate point remaining.
All right.
Fate, don't fail me now. That's plus 20. Plus 20.
I think all the shooting is obviously
Hey.
ended at this point. And you succeed. All right, so you're in. Eve. 410's in. Hans is out. Hans, you're outside of the ship now. What else we got going on? Ramirez. Are you back, Tanner? We'll get back to Tanner. Meanwhile, I'll make the check for the navigator. I'll
He's,
also give
remember,
him-
both of his legs have been shot.
he only needs arms. I'm gonna add a 20
You won't
to
have those
that.
much longer.
He hangs on despite everything. And yeah, now these things, on the other hand, they vented off into space.
They're floating around with me right now.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just like flying after you, and you're flying away from them.
You will engage in glorious battle against the hundreds of...
That's right. Only
zombies.
in death does duty end, Hans.
So I,
Not even then,
I
a
put
servitor
myself
Hans is gonna
between the
learn.
zombie horde and Captain Darius, and I get thanked by getting vented into space.
You chose to sacrifice yourself for the captain, and your wish was granted. You took them with you, more literally than you were hoping.
Doesn't even a void suit?
All right, so
I do have a void suit. I'm just floating around out there right now.
Ramirez, they have made the decision to vent the atmosphere to try to buy enough time to kill the navigator, who succeeded in not being vented out into space, and hoping that the servo skulls don't run out of ammunition. So you have to make you can choose. You can do a strength, toughness, or agility check at a plus 20. And if you don't, you either have to burn a fate or you'll be vented into space.
You can join me.
Well, he
I won't
doesn't.
survive much longer, friend. Gonna go with agility because that's the best one, with a plus 20. And still with the minus 15 from earlier.
No, you got your air back, so you're good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see here. Click. Plus 20. Submit.
Nice.
Nice. You hang on as the air is whooshing out of this place. And lastly, let's go back here. Go ahead and roll your attacks with the servo skulls.
Oh, gotta pull my servo skulls back up here. Alright. We've already attack. No aim. In range. Pew. That's one. Alright, and damage there is gonna be that one. And then... let's see. No aim, short range, single shot, doop-a-doop, and that one misses.
All right. You finally blow the
Oh, I'm-
hit. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, that was not my servo skull, that was a bolt gun. I'm on the wrong character sheet.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. A couple of
Alright.
things happen here. Before we describe the death of this thing, I just want to wonder what's going on out in space. Let me give you some vision, Hans, and give it to everybody else so everybody can see. I'm going to give it to all players, dynamic, bright light for 30, so you can see what's going on out here. So you're floating out in space. What are you doing as you're floating backwards and like dozens, like even hundreds of like these dead bodies animated or just like hurtling towards you, and you're flying backwards out into space?
Well, first thing I try and do is raise the gun cutter. See if I can't contact it. If I have comms with it. And if I don't, I'm going to yell at Captain Darius to get the gun cutter to pick me up because I don't like these zombies all around me. And second thing is I'm just going to start, I'm still going to blast zombies even if I'm floating out in space because I got nothing better to do.
Despite all the things that have happened to you, you're reminded that you are in the retinue of a dynasty of a rogue trader when you get a signal back that's scratchy, like Lord Damuv, You're coming in broken. We're coming into your position now. The Emperor protects.
And I will warn them about I do have company with me in the form of several floating zombies.
Yeah, these are like piles of dozens of them. They're all just like hurtling towards you.
I will warn the gun cutter of them, just because I don't know if zombies and engines will cause problems at some point, but I do want to make them aware of that.
Yeah, no, you, I think I have a gun cutter here. The gun cutter, let's see here.
Ooh, he's tiny. Oh, he's big.
This giant ship, well, by comparison, appears basically, a gunship, and just like miniguns and what do you call those, like not las cannons, but the like Gatling las guns. They just like
multi-las, something.
Multi-las, yeah. They just start ripping into all these dead bodies as you make it into the hold and roll into the ship, and they just start like tearing these things apart, and they easily just turn everything into a cloud of blood and bone. What do you do now, Hans?
If I can, I contact Lord Captain Darius, tell him I am safely aboard the gun cutter, and await any command if he so does want me to do anything.
Meanwhile, as that's happening simultaneously, the two servo skulls are, this thing's holding on with its remaining arms, from it being vented, and then and it blows off an arm, and it's holding on, and finally it blows off the last arm, but instead of being vented out, it splats against the far wall like an insect. Blood flies everywhere, and from the servo skull, you can see this big thing that looks like a maggot attached to its head disconnect and fall to the floor and start to scurry out of the ship.
Oh no!
So on the outside of the hull?
Can I instruct the servo skulls to search and destroy this leech?
They can, but they have to do two task chains. But you have two servo skulls. They have to succeed on the check to find it before it scurries off into the void. That would be 2 awareness checks, and then they would have to attack and kill it.
They have excellent awareness. Yeah. All right, you want me to do that twice then?
Yep.
Boop.
All right, you find it.
Boop.
All you got to do is hit it once.
All right. Big money. No whammies. How much range are we talking?
Normal range.
That's one. A terrible miss. Shameful. Guys, the Emperor. And then
Use thy fate.
I'm faded out. I've faded for life.
They see it and you start shooting it with the little las pistols, and it scurries off on the outside of the ship, going out into the void, and you lose it.
Wow.
So I'm gonna pan back over to Captain Darius. Your loyal, soldier Hans has managed in the process of you venting out the ship. He took all these things with him, called in the gun cutter, destroyed them all, and has now brought the gun cutter. And you have communications with him as the static seems to clear up. What do you do?
Tell him he's in line for a promotion.
Good.
Gosh, I think the first thing we're actually going to want to do is we're probably going to want to call for some reinforcements from our ship. And from there, I guess we got to decide if it's safe to move this thing. So we need to figure if we feel that we're pretty good in our present situation. I guess we got to think about more in the long term what we want to do to handle this situation.
I assume that, well, first of all, from your command phone, you're able to detect nothing else is now moving in the ship, and it returns to its ghostly, still state as you found it. With the Psyker slain, all the movement stops across the ship as everything seems to fall dead back to the way it should be. The former captain lays dead down below you, down below the dais, and you can tell that the ship is too damaged to operate as just as an actual cruiser, as an operational cruiser. But I assume you bring the air back on and everything so people can, so you can just talk and everything.
Bring the air back on, call in some Imperial priests to bless this ship, and then we'll start bringing in engineers and soldiers and stuff, keep this place secure, and I guess we begin work on this place.
All right. Actually, I'll bring you here. You do that, and with all the time, now no hurry, you're able to yourself to determine that there's no other threat that you can find on the ship. You find that in the process of having vented the air from the ship, you discover, Darius, that there are probably 500 people that were still alive down in the bowels of the ship that perished. And no one needs to know.
They were probably tainted anyway.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Their souls are with the Emperors now.
Yes, we have delivered them to the Emperor's side.
Yeah. But since you're now no longer in a rush, you're able to slowly pick things as you need from the battlefield. In short order, you're able to determine that the cruiser there's not really any realistic way to try to make it operational as it is. But your cruiser is massive, and so you're able to cut away every useful single piece of this thing, and it makes you much wealthier. I'll tell you all's profit factor increase later. But you just as an example, you now have a working Geller field generator, one of the most rare items left in the Imperium, and that's just one thing. So you have a lot of stuff that you're able to take from this old cruiser. And you take every valuable thing from it, every last thing. What else do you do?
I'm tempted to blow this graveyard to shreds, or at the very least, I think we need to send a message or a signal to someone in a high enough place of power and tell them that there are things hiding out in the graveyard.
Okay. Yeah. You tell your navigator. Did I put her name in here? No, I did not. Where is...
I do have Form 61B from the Inquisition right here, but do we really want to, of course the Inquisition's bureaucrats are sacred and diligent in their duties, but just if you're sure you want to.
You bring up a fair point, Tech Priest. We would be audited on all of our newfound gains. Perhaps put up a beacon that warns travelers to stay far, far away from this graveyard, and we'll leave with what we came.
Mild warp leech infestation to be wary of, and that will serve.
Kimber Goldani said that your navigator. She says, "I suppose I can try to create some sort of astropathic relay, a minor one. Though It could gather the attention. A psychic beacon would eventually gather the attention of others, not just the Imperium.
Maybe just a physical sign, like a billboard.
It's just be a pretty big billboard.
Maybe spray paint the signs of some of the ships, like, you know.
Warning.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
Also, whenever we get back to the ship, I'd like to just harass the navigator like a monkey looking for bugs, just like making sure there's no leeches on her anywhere in her hair. Like, yes, no explanation given.
There are no. She like swats away your mechadendrite. There are no leeches on me. I am a House Nobilite navigator, and you might consider, Lord Captain, obtaining a sanctioned Psyker for situations like this.
Yes, perhaps. Even one of some minor abilities could be quite useful to keep out, infiltrators of such a capacity.
She actually turns toward
rises.
5713 and she says, "It is true that we should be suspicious at all times, for suspicion is virtue."
I suppose that you happen to know any Psykers, anyone with psychic power.
No. I know that the Navis Nobilite are often considered mutants, but we're more than that. We're not mere mutants that have contorted. We're carefully bred across generations and holy in the Emperor's eyes. Not like the unfortunate changes that take place in people twisted by the warp.
Ramirez, when we return to port, I expect you to do some deep investigating into how we might acquire the services of some Psykers to bring aboard on our journeys.
It shall be done, Lord Commander.
All right.
Does anyone else have any ideas? Anything else before we set off, returning to the nearest port? I think that does it, boys.
All right, let's see here. You, as such, you prepare to depart. You make the familiar but uncomfortable tear in reality again as you enter the miasma of the Empyrean again. And the ship tears its way into this place. You begin to start your journey within, and the shutters close on the ship to prevent your mind from being exposed to these things. You're in here for some amount of time in the warp, which is normal, when all of a sudden something goes wrong. And let's see here. Actually need to bring this up.
Yes, I always knew this is where I would die.
In the credits?
Yes.
As it has done countless times before, your ship once again pierces the fabric of reality in the Immaterium, plunging you into the warp. Like a sickness rising from the pit of your stomach, you feel the warp engines roar to life, a dozen decks below your feet, and the charge in the ship's stale air as the Geller field of its imperial web envelops the vessel. The ship's structure shudders and groans as the transition begins. But something is wrong. all of a sudden the bridge is plunged into shadow, and the ship seems to buck under the weight of some unseen force, the very deck underfoot rippling and bending. All around you, servitors cease their mindless tasks and throw their heads back at their stations and begin to scream from ruined mouths. You're struck by the unshakable feeling that something terrible has happened. And that's where we'll end the session for now.